become husband and wife last year. The only good thing to come out of the pandemic is that you get 2 celebrations and that the right music will be played this time as Mandy's not in charge. I heard about that story. But before we begin this ceremony, I'd like to take a moment to acknowledge the loved ones that are no longer with us. These special individuals are a huge miss and will always hold a place in our hearts. A piece of them is always with you in your heart, and they would want nothing more than to be here to celebrate with you today. Now at weddings, Vic, can you put yourself on mute, please? Shh. Well, in that case, I'm going home and you guys can take over. Cheers, guys. Don't worry, you can cheer soon, I promise. At weddings, we often take the opportunity to reflect on our own relationships. The truth is that every relationship is as unique as the individuals in it. But one thing holds true. For love to exist between 2 people, each person must allow the vulnerability of giving his or her love to the other, and each must be open to receiving the other's love in return. Many people believe that entering into marriage is the final step in a romantic relationship. As they see it, a couple meet, get to know each other, fall in love, decide to go through life together, and then take the final step, marriage. But marriage is not meant to be the final step in a couple's relationship. It is just the beginning of a great adventure that will hopefully be long and joyous. If you ask couples who have a strong and abiding love what they like most about their partners, many will say when they're with that person, they don't have to pretend to be anything other than what they are. They're able to express themselves without the fear of being judged or rejected. There is room in the relationship for both of them to be unique individuals. They are free to surrender to the vulnerability of true intimacy, to be known and loved unconditionally. The most remarkable moment in life is when you meet the person who makes you feel complete. The person who makes the world a beautiful and magical place. The person with whom you share a bond so special that it transcends normal relationships and becomes something so pure and so wonderful that you can't imagine spending another day of your life without them. Joe and Gary's relationship has been built on adventure, especially their love of travel, laughter, the creativity, and a joint understanding of love and respect. They make each other better, more patient, more empathetic, more sensitive, stronger when it's needed, and more vulnerable when it's nice to be. They make each other more confident, and maybe a little funnier, although I'm not really sure that's possible. Their hopes for the future are to live their best lives together, everything from spending quality time with each other, to exploring new destinations far and wide, and having loads of parties in their new home. Joe and Gary, before marriage, you would have been many things to one another. Friend, partner, fiancé, but now you just say a few words that will reaffirm the commitment that you've made to each other. Nothing is easier than standing here and saying these words, yet nothing is more difficult than living them day to day. For when you love someone, you do not love them all the time in exactly the same way. That is impossible. Yet that is what most of us expect. We forget the ebb and flow of love, of life and of relationships. We insist on permanence, on duration, on continuity. But in love, as in life, the only stability is in change, in growth, and in freedom. Therefore, what you promise today must be renewed and reaffirmed for all the tomorrows to come. Now you were holding hands. I know, it's come up. But these hands that you're now holding are your hands of your best friend. These are the hands that will work alongside yours as together you build your future. These are the hands when wrinkled and aged will still be reaching out for yours. Hold these hands and cherish them up. But now I'm going to come to the vows. Gary, I'm going to go with you first.
So, Joe, you are my best friend. I love you unconditionally and without hesitation. I want to spend the rest of my life with you. We will create a life and home filled with laughter and compassion. I will care for you, stand by your side, and sleep in your arms. I will love you when we are together and when we are apart. I promise to laugh with you in good times and support you in not so good times. I promise to respect you and to cherish you as an individual, a partner and an equal. I love you always, and may we continue to have many adventures and grow old together.
You are the love of my life, the other half to my heart. I want to spend the rest of my life with you. I choose you. To stand by your side and sleep in your arms. To be a joy to your heart and food for your soul. To learn with you and grow with you, even as time and life changes both. I promise to respect you and cherish you as an individual, a partner, and an equal. I will love you always, and may we continue to have many adventures and grow old together.
Thank you. I will ask you to seal the promises you have shared with each other by the giving and receiving of rings. This is a point in the ceremony where we talk about the wedding bands being a perfect circle, having no beginning and no end. But these rings do have a beginning. Rock is dug up from the earth, metals are liquefied in a furnace at 1,000 degrees. The hot metal is forged, cooled, and then painstakingly polished. Something beautiful is made from raw elements. Love is like that. It comes from humble beginnings, made by imperfect beings. It is the process of making something beautiful when there was once nothing at all. Jeff, it's your big moment. How did you not?
Great.
Thank you very much. That was it. Did you manage? Good. And repeat after me. Joe, I give you this ring
Joe, I give you this ring
as a sign of our marriage.
as a sign of our marriage.
All that I am, I give to you.
All that I am, I give to you.
All that I have, I share with you.
All that I have, I share with you.
And as a symbol of my love and commitment to you.
This is a symbol of love and commitment to you.
And then pop it on. It's warm, so it might need a wiggle.
There we go.
There we go. Gary, I give you this ring
Gary, I give you this ring
as a sign of our marriage.
as a sign of our marriage.
All that I am, I give to you.
All that I am, I give to you.
All that I have, I share with you.
All that I have, I share with you.
And as a symbol of my love and commitment to you.
And as a symbol of my love and commitment to you.
And then push it on.
That's good. Thank you.
Joe and Gary, I ask that you each remember to continue to cherish each other as special and unique individuals, and that you each respect the thoughts and ideas of one another. Most of all, be able to forgive each other, not to hold grudges against one another, live each day in love with each other, always be there to give love, comfort and refuge to each other in good times and in bad. Now, happiness in marriage is not something that just happens. A good marriage must be created. In marriage, the little things are the big things. It is never being too old to hold hands. It is remembering to say, I love you, at least once a day. It is never going to sleep angry. It is at no time taking the other for granted. The courtship should not end with the honeymoon. It should continue through the years. It is having a mutual sense of common values and common objectives. It is standing together facing the world. It is forming a circle of love that gathers the whole family. It is doing things for each other, not in the attitude of duty or sacrifice, but in the spirit of joy. It is speaking words of appreciation and demonstrating gratitude in thoughtful ways. It is not looking for perfection in each other. It is cultivating flexibility, patience, understanding, and a sense of humour. It is having the capacity to forgive and to forget. It is giving each other an atmosphere in which you can grow old. It is a common search for the good and the beautiful. It is establishing a relationship in which the independence is equal, dependence is mutual, and obligation reciprocal. It is not only marrying the right partner, but it is being the right partner. Now, throughout time, countless millions of people from many cultures, religions, and societies have gathered among family and friends to celebrate their love for one another and their commitment. Each culture has symbols and rituals to celebrate marriage, from Chinese tea ceremony to Jewish tradition of breaking the glass, a rich tapestry of traditions from around the world to symbolize the meaning of marriage. Today, we should try to remember that a wedding is a symbol, a heartfelt and meaningful symbol, but a symbol nonetheless. This ceremony is not magic. It will not create a relationship that does not already exist and has not already been celebrated in all the commitments that you've made to each other, both large and small, in the days since you first met. What we are celebrating today is not the beginning of a marriage, but a marriage already in progress. This ceremony is a symbol of how far you have come together, and is a symbol of the promises you'll continue to make to each other throughout your lives together. Now, you have chosen to symbolize the sand today with a sand ceremony from your travels. So Joe and Gary, married, today you are reaffirming your commitment to share the rest of your lives together. Your relationship is going to be symbolised in the pouring of the sand into these containers into the one main vessel. The sand being used today has been collected while Joe and Gary have been on their travels. So we're going left to right. The first sand. Pop it open. Watch your nails. This sand is from Alicante, Spain, where Gary worked for 2 years and holds a place of special memories. The next one. Joe and Gary went on a cruise for Joe's 40th, and these next 2 locations were ports that they docked at. This sand is from Uruguay. And this sand, I expect to hear a song as it opens up, is from Hook Beach. Rio party was there.
Yeah.
And finally this last one, sand from North Shields, a home and a base to always return to. Let's still go down. Ketchup ball, give it away. There we go. That's what we can say about UK beaches, can't we?
Not dry, that's all.
There we go. It'll come, it'll work through. I'll sort that afterwards. The combined sand today symbolises the joining together as one. As these blended grains of sand can never be separated again and poured into their individual containers, so you'll be united forever. Joe and Gary, my hope for you is this. May you have many long years to delight each other's company and to love and be loved by the family and friends who come here today to support you. May you continue to make a home together that is sheltering and welcoming. May you continue to travel, create adventures with each other. May you each do meaningful, productive work at home and in the world, learning from your failures and growing in your accomplishments. May life's challenges be met with courage and optimism, and may your days be filled with laughter, imagination, trust, friendship, and not just love, but infinite love. Joe and Gary, on behalf of those present and by the strength of your own love and promises you've made today, ladies and gentlemen, get ready to give a big cheer as you may celebrate this union with a big fat kiss. Ladies and gentlemen, now please stand. Give a huge round of applause. I give you Mr. and Mrs. Owens!